topic I was going to bring up before the game today. You were talking about defense being so important, and the crowd was actually chanting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going through your head at the same time.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Yeah, no, when the crowd started chanting defense, that was maybe we get them to do that like to start the game or something. I don't know, because that got me pumped up, and
you just help to prevent that snowballing even more.
I think that's when I called a timeout pretty quick and just encouraged them right there during that timeout we needed to change some things. This game showed a lot of growth for our players. Especially you're talking about the third quarter, they got out and then we held them to I think like either 4 or 5 points the last 5 minutes. And then the same in the fourth quarter, held them to 5 or 6 points in the last 5 minutes. Just got to turn it on sooner. Got to figure that out, understand what we were doing and not doing. And I challenged him at halftime because we weren't doing what we were. Paul had this scout, and he had a great game plan, and we just weren't executing. We were going under screens we weren't supposed to go under, and then we changed all that. And so it was just a lot of growth by us tonight.
We'll go down the line, Matt, then Christine.
Yeah, Christie, from your vantage point, I guess, was there any specific examples from your team that kind of showed you that they were able to handle that emotional stability you talked about compared to Friday?
Yeah, I think you saw a different team out there. I think there were a lot of moments where they could have, got really angry, let little things bother them, some calls, no calls. But I think they did a much better job of just, handling their emotions, not letting it get, not getting too upset over things that, just next play mentality. That's what they had. They had next play mentality, get on to the next once we got going. That wasn't early.
We go Christine and Lo.
Do you know why they didn't get going? In other words, we watched Caitlin, and you asked about it, leave at halftime. I mean, she was disgusted, right? And she charged right in there, and I figured, some coaches over the years in football and other sports, thrown tables and upset water, coolers and things like that. But then they came out, and of course, Atlanta scored, I think it was another 9-10 points.
Yeah.
Do you know why that was happening?
I do not know. I think we just needed to come out with a little bit more sense of urgency. Put ourselves in a position where we're not playing catch up from behind, and just learn to come out, starts on the defensive end, and I can't say that enough. And that is where, offensively, we scored 100 points, I think, in 4 quarters. I don't know exactly, but defensively, you can't just give people confidence, and you can't let them take shots that they like to take. And that's just where we have to keep getting that 1% better, looking at this one, seeing in those moments where we just didn't get that piece done. But it starts on the defensive end for us.
Go Lo, then we go Scott.
That was actually the topic I was going to bring up before the game today. You were talking about defense being so important, and the crowd was actually chanting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going through your head at the same time.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Yeah, no, when the crowd started chanting defense, that was maybe we get them to do that like to start the game or something. I don't know, because that got me pumped up, and it showed that we started doing what we were supposed to do. You got to pressure the ball. You got to talk. You're not playing defense. I know it's a cliche quote, but if you're not talking, you're not playing defense. We get really silent when we're not doing what we're supposed to do and people are scoring. But found a way to get it done on that end.
Go Scott, then we go Kelsey on the left.
Earlier talked about her message to herself is kind of dominate out there, and it's especially in the second half seemed like she was authoritative, decisive in her movements. Beyond even this game, what have you seen from her in the last week? Taking charge, being more authoritative within the post when you guys have needed it?
Yeah, she had a couple buckets that were huge. She had the repost at Lexi. She kicked out to Lexi. She reposted and Lexi hit her. She just, late in that game when we needed to slow down and just run some good offense and put them in a position where they would either foul us or we would get a bucket. And, Caitlin came down, we ran some good offense. We got the ball inside of Aaliyah, and she executed what we needed her to. I mean, what did she end up with? 30 and
13.
30 and 13. I mean, double by her. It starts there. I say it all the time. It starts there, and that just opens up everybody else.
Go Kelsey on the left, then we go Rob on the right.
Lexi, obviously a strong defender, but she picked up some early fouls again today. Obviously, it presents a different challenge with her in the starting lineup. Have you had any conversations with her about maybe just some adjustments she needs to make defensively, especially because she's also a player who you rely on late in the game now?
Yeah, we talked about that, just discipline, just being a little bit more disciplined. She tends to get overly aggressive at times when I just, sometimes she's reaching down for a steal when it might be there, but keep your hands high, make them take a tough two. And just, that happened the other night as well. I mean, she picked up those early fouls. So, yeah, just need her on the floor. Her and Kelsey both are doing great jobs guarding, the best offensive player for the opposing team. Both of them did a great job tonight at different times.
We'll go Rob, then we'll finish up on Zoom with one.
Rob Hunt, CNHI. One of the things I asked Caitlin about when she was in here was the message at halftime concerning the turnovers. There were 13 in the first half, and she agreed that most of them were unforced errors.
Yeah.
Really clean that up in the second half. What was kind of the message to the players at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think they totaled 26 more shots than us anyway, even taking care of the ball in the second half. I mean, honestly, I really, you don't usually get a win like this with that many turnovers, and it's just that important. We just keep telling them, you just got to play good, average, good defense, but got to take care of the ball because we're going to be able to put the ball in the hole. I mean, that is what we're capable of doing, but you can't just keep taking those opportunities away by, making turnovers that are not forced, like on us, got to clean that up.
Last one on Zoom. George, go ahead.
Coach, it's very special to see where the team is now compared to the start of the season. As the coach, how do you balance appreciating the journey but also being locked in on what's ahead with the playoff push?
Yeah, that was one of my messages during one of our fun timeouts was just, we're not satisfied. Like there's nothing that we've done yet. I mean, yeah, that was our goal was to make it to the playoffs. But now, like what they've shown that they can do, like we're not ready to just make that, where it lands, but we can't just play the way we did against Minnesota at times, the way we played against Atlanta at times tonight, to keep improving so we're ready when that playoff push happens, when we get into the playoffs. Because we're going to play one of the top teams in the league again. And they have the experience. We've got to build that now. We've got to build that now, and we can't, just be satisfied. And I don't think they are. We've just got to find a way to get stops early and get ourselves going early on the defensive end.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.